At this point, we have our character doing an animation, a run animation each direction. Let's actually make our character move. So to do that, we're going to be editing the script. So go to My Character, double click the My Character script to open it in Visual Studio. And we need to add a few things. First, we're going to need to add a instance variable at the top of the class. So I'm at the top of the class here. And this is for my run speed, or we'll call it move speed. And I need a serialized field. And this is a float. I'm going to go move speed equals, and try this out. I think 7 works well. You can change it on your own if you need to, but that's what I'm setting it now. But it's a serialized field, so I can change it later if I need to. Okay. Now down in the move method, we need a few more variables here. We're going to move our character just like we did our player in the Laser Defender game that we just finished. So we need a few variables here. This is for movement. I need a var. It's going to figure out what I need. Delta x. That's going to be my move variable, which is right above, times time.delta time times my move speed. So that's going to give me my change, my change in x, or which direction I'm moving. And we're only going to move in the x direction right now. We're going to use something else to move in the y direction. But we need one more variable, just like in our last game. I need variable new x position, new x pos equals transform dot position dot x plus my delta x there. So this would be my change. This is actually the new position. And then finally, I'll hit return a couple times. We actually have to move the object, and we do that with transform.position. Transform.position equals a new vector2. And I have new x position and my x value. And I don't want the y to change. I don't want it to move up and down with this. So I'm just going to do transform dot position dot y. So it's going to keep the current y position, and it's going to change the x position. Now, we did this exact same thing in our last game, so hopefully you're not confused. Hopefully this should just be a reminder like, oh yeah, I remember how to do that. Save your script. Let's hop back to Unity, and I'll play. My character should run left and right now. It's going to go off the screen, but it should work. Look at that. There we go. The character is running left and right. He would completely go off the screen, but now it's back. Good. It's time to move the character in the Y direction. Part of that's going to be gravity, so if my character walks off the edge, it will just fall. Part of it, we're going to add a script so we can have a jump key, so we add some force in the Y direction and make our character jump up. So let's get started with that. First, I need to add a couple components to my character. So let's go down here. I'm going to add a component to my character, and the first is a rigid body 2D. I'm going to make some changes to it. The gravity scale is not quite enough. I'm going to bump that up to 2. That's something you can play with later if you don't like the current gravity scale. And I'll go down to constraints, and I want to freeze the rotation Z. I don't want my character to rotate at all. if it rotates, it kind of messes up the rest of the game because it doesn't rotate back to its normal position. So I'm going to do those two items. Now actually, if I push play, the character should fall. Let's see. There we go. All right, good. Now we need to make it collide with objects here. So the next thing would be to add a component. And I'm going to add a circle collider 2D. And we'll zoom in here. We're going to edit the collider, so I'll click here on the Edit Collider button. I want to make sure, I always want his feet to be on the platform here. So I'm going to move the collider up like that, and really that's about the only change that I want to make here. So my character will collide down there. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. It's up to you. This will be good enough for now. Okay, if I push play now, same thing's going to happen. Character is going to fall right through. That's not what I want. So first of all, I'm going to take my character. I'm going to move it up in the air just so we can test that this is going to work here. Next, I need to add colliders to all of my objects in here. So let me add a couple more things. So I'll go here, I'm going to add a platform here, and maybe a couple over here. So I can fall down and I'll be able to jump later here. And I'll even add one up there. Okay, this is all for later. But there's a great thing. Okay, now pretend this is my world here. I've created everything. You have a world here. I need to go to open up the grid, and in there there's something called a tile map. If I add a component to a tile map, I can add a collider. So I'm going to type collider, and there's a tile map collider 2D. The moment I add that, it figures out where all the tiles are, and it makes those colliders. And the great thing is now if I push play, my character should fall right onto one of those objects. If I move here, he falls. If I move here, oh, he dies. So again, let's test that out. Character falls right on the platforms. If I drop down, we fall on a platform. I currently can't jump, so that's what's next. If I look at my character, we added this rigid body component to it. And one thing we can do, the rigid body is what's pushing it down with gravity. We can add a force to the rigid body component, and it will make the character move up, or move down, or move left, or move right with that force. So what we're going to do is have the space button add an up vector, or a force up, so that our character jumps. And we're going to do that in the script. So go to your character and find your character script. And up at the top, I need another component here. So I've got animator and I've got my sprite. The next thing I need is a rigid body 2D variable. I'm just going to call it RB for rigid body. That'll make it easy to get. And in the start method, I have to get the component, just like I've been doing here. So RB equals get component. Triangular bracket, and then I'm going to get the rigid body 2D. Two parentheses and a semicolon. So now that I have my rigid body, what am I going to do with it? Well, we're going to jump. Before that, I need another variable up here. We'll serialize it here. This is going to be my jump power. We need a serialized field. This is a float, and jump power is equal to, we're going to make it 400F. I've tested that out. It seems to work pretty well. If it doesn't work in your game, you you can change it because we have a serialized field there. Okay, save. And we're not jumping yet. Down in update, we're going to make a new method. We have the move method right below it. Jump with a capital P. Oh, added jump power. I want jump. I want to make my jump method here, which we have not made, so I just typed jump in here. If I right click this now, you can do quick actions and refactorings. I just have a quick fix where I generate the jump method, puts it right here for me, and I'm going to delete the throw new not implementation expected line there. And in here, I'm just going to check and see if someone has hit the space button. So how do I do that? Well, if I go input dot get button down, there it is. If input dot get button down and jump, well, this will let me know if I'm jumping. That's good. Now, why did I put jump there instead of space? I want to put the space button. Well, let me show you. Let me put jump back. Don't follow along with this. Just see what I'm doing here. I'm going to jump into Unity really quick and go to my project settings. And I have axes. Under input, I have axes. And there's a jump here, and jump is already mapped to space there. And also, if I had a keyboard, I could use the mouse button, or I can get information from joysticks. So this is all set up under jump. That's what I'm using in the script when I type jump there. So if we get that button, we're going to jump. And well, how do we do that? Well, I go to my rigid body and I add a force. And I'm going to go vector 2 dot up. So that's the up direction of my vector 2 times jump power. Let's save the script. I'm going to hop back to Unity and see if that's working here. Play the game. Hit the spacebar. Run and jump. Ooh, that works well. The problem right now is I could hit the jump button continuously. We don't want that to happen. Hopefully your jump is working. But this is kind of a cheat, right? I could stay up in the air forever. I could float and get to whatever platform I needed, and that would be great. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. Hop back to your script. And I want to be able to jump, but only when I'm on the ground. How do I know when I'm on the ground? Well, he's not moving down, right? The character's not moving down. Here it's moving down, and it stopped moving down. It's on the ground when it's not moving down. It could be possibly moving up if I hit the space bar, and then it stops moving down when it's on the ground. So I'm going to add a condition to our if statement that if I hit the jump button and, which is a double ampersand there, and I'm going to say RB dot velocity dot y is equal to 0. So that's saying the y velocity, the up and down velocity, is equal to 0. When it's not moving up or down, the velocity is equal to 0. It's giving me an error here. We're going to see if we can run it without fixing this error here. So save the script. Hop back over here to Unity. click play. And I can't continuously hit the jump button, which is great. If I run and jump, oh, I can make that double jump there. Can I jump up to that platform there? Ooh, not quite. Let's see. Let's try that again. I think we can make that jump with the current power. Just have to be a good jump. There we go. We made it. If I fall down here, can I jump up? Yes. Hey, this is great. I think we've got our character pretty dialed in. So what we're going to do is make a prefab out of our character. So grab your character, find your prefabs folder, and drag your character into the prefab. And this video is getting kind of long, so we're going to stop it here and go ahead and move on to the next video to see what we're doing there.